How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. I am Ron Swanson. This is Beverly Rhodes. We are live tonight with the one and only Ronnie Bo. He will be with us momentarily, and I hope everyone's having a good time. Beverly, we have just spent a large portion of my last podcast discussing your wonderful self. Samson
How
invited
wonderful.
had two guests on with us, two guests, and the first hour just focused entirely on the mind-blowing factor of what happened last week.
Last time. Oh dear, yeah. I really didn't mean to upset Sam so much. Bless him. I hope he's all right.
No, he has spent the whole week trying to convince every single person that he's in his family about what happened, and his family. I mean, you got to understand. One of his friends is like, "Are you getting sucked into a cult here? Are you getting sucked?"
Oh dear.
And I was like, "Can you?" It's so good when somebody like has that level of an impact because he feels different. You know, he feels it was good to have that sort of stuff, all that stuff, sort of acknowledged, and it was incredible. So
yeah, it was bothering him. It was bothering him quite a lot. He was stuck in his aura and all of his energetic fields. 100%. But maybe it was a learning curve for him. But everyone's awakening now, so that's the big thing, isn't it? You know, with the awakening, it's all moving forward, and I think he's awakened in a huge way. One of the biggest awakenings, actually, that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's exciting. So he had his mind blown, and he is just been going off on one. So I was answering some questions about that. And it's really it's a fantastic topic. Now, Beverly, just give me 1 second. I need to open this back door because it is roasting hot. Now, we also were talking about Nova's possible delivery day, and we mentioned the full moon, and somebody mentioned it's a full moon in 2 days. I think it's going to be then. And then I said, "Oh, someone's saying it's going to be in 2 days and a full moon," and the entire internet in my house completely shut down. Everything went crazy, and then came back on, and I mentioned it, and then we got another little spike that wasn't as serious. So it was almost like, yes, a big acknowledgement, and then a little acknowledgement of the big acknowledgement, and now I've got a sharp ringing in my right ear. So
I wonder if maybe she's sending you some energies, little sweetie pie.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah. So just give me 1 moment. I just want to just double check Ronnie's okay. Okay. Where are we? Yeah. So, like I say, Ronnie's going to be talking mainly about the Diddy and Jayz things. He requested Beverly to be here because of an incident that took place on after the first interview that he'd like to discuss with Beverly and go into with you guys, because again, it was another one that sort of blew his mind. We've got Big Homie on Sunday, this Sunday, not next Sunday. For some reason, I clicked the wrong Sunday, I think, when I originally set all this up. So it is this Sunday, and very excited.
Azria's on with us. Because we got the alien DNA with Azria. Yay!
Yeah, it's off-world, fantastic off-world DNA once again, and we're just all super excited about it. We're super excited. Homie's excited about it, and Miss Jaguar Wright's agreed to come on as well. She's ecstatic and excited to meet Beverly. It's going to be great. But what I'm going to do, Beverly, if you could just do me a favor and just chat a little bit about what we've got coming up. I'm going to go and give Ronnie a phone and make sure everything's okay. And I'll leave you the side chat in the capable hands of the wonderful Beverly Rhodes just momentarily.
Okay. So we've got an alien DNA review for the dear Big Homie, and I've actually seen it, and it looks amazing. So hopefully he will be blown away as much as Ron was blown away in his particular alien DNA. I will say, as a little cheat, that there's 1 or 2 items in that report where there's totally unusual beings, and one particular set of beings that we've not seen at all before. So that's going to be, it's actually on the 22nd. And the same show, towards the end of the show, we've got the lovely Marilyn coming back. And Marilyn and I are going to do a bit of a double act where Marilyn's going to be doing some huna again with the breath work and all those good things. And at the same time, I'm going to be sending information out into the universe and to everybody that's watching as part of the over global worldwide healing, so that everybody can call on that as and when they wish. So that is, as far as I know, nobody's done that for quite a while. So I think it's going to be a really good day. As usual, you can send in a request to be added to the Sunday Healing Circle, which is Absent Healing that I do on a Sunday, where I'm going to send that out to everyone that's in my book, on my list, and that should be heading out your way. Sometimes I do it at 6 in the evening, and sometimes I do it at 9 o'clock at night. So if you want to be added, please add that in the chat, and then just let me know, write it down, what it is you want, and add names. Don't have to put any dates of birth. We just deal with the frequency surrounding the name, your name, as you entered into this world as the being that you became. So add that in. Then next week as well, on the 18th, we have an amazing panel. They are worldwide, international individuals that can speak on UFOs, on exopolitics, on experiences off-world particularly, and individuals that have worked or seen and had something to do with angels, demons, off-worlders, all sorts of really wonderful things. So we'll have Elena Denon. We're going to have Danny in with us again, Danny Henderson, and we're going to have JP. And JP is a serving gentleman in the Marines, and unfortunately he has to wear he'll either wear a mask or he'll wear a helmet, because we're not allowed to identify his true identification at the moment, because he's still under contract to the United States Marines. But he's able to talk through things, and what he talks about is being okayed, which is really good. They've sanctioned it, which is fantastic. And we'll also have the lovely Tony Rodriguez, who has written various different books, and he served a lot of time. He also spent some time with various drug cartels, and he was utilized by them. He's also a remote viewer, like myself. So it's going to be a very interesting time to have the comings and the goings and all these good things. Then later on, towards the beginning of next year, I've just today managed to gain agreement with Tinkerbell, which is her operative name, because we don't use our real names as remote viewers. And she is a specialist in finding children, and she works with me on the same remote viewing aspect, and we work on finding children. And she's agreed to come on to one of the shows next year. So I think that is going to be a particularly good one, because we'll be able to swap ideas, talk about some of the cases, talk about how she sees things, because she's one of those remote viewers. She doesn't just remote view. She also does scrying, where she takes water, looks into the water, and these images come out of the water. And she's very gifted in as much as when she goes and does her meditation, she has direct voice coming into her ears, and she actually hears the actual voice of the children. And then as this moves forward, she asks, where are you? What can you see? How are things moving for you? Can you tell me how you feel? Can you tell me how many children are around you? And then she's able to tune into the surroundings, and then we try and match those areas. We will also be talking about how we take each of the maps, how we put it into quadrants and sections, and how we work particularly in the Remote Viewing Alliance, and how we then number each of the quadrants, and then we all work on it together. There's 30 of us in the Remote Viewing Alliance, and then we go through the children, and we then pinpoint where they are. So we've got some really, really very exciting new guests, new ideas, all sorts of great things. And of course, Ron is bringing a whole show about cryptids.
Yes, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. Thank you for holding the fort there, Bev. Thank you so much. Ronnie Bo, thank you so much for joining us again, mate. How are you? It's great to see you again. How have you been? And let us know how you're doing, mate. It's good to see you. Oh, you're muted again. You're muted. There we go. You got it. You got it.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hey, Beverly.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Y'all can hear me pretty good now?
Yeah, perfect now. Perfect.
Well, I actually been okay, and it's an honor to be back here with y'all on this live. Y'all some very good, interesting people. And by the way, Beverly, I just got a text about you. I got a new girlfriend. Her name is Caroline. Her last name is so difficult to pronounce, but it's Carollo, Caroline Carollo. She's actually an attorney. She's a lawyer, and I befriended her by giving my number out. And when I told her I would be live on Sean Atwood channel tonight, she said, "I'm a huge fan of Beverly. She's very wise and interesting. I learned a lot from her."
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that, but she's definitely tuned in watching you, and she's definitely a huge fan of yours, Beverly.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I say hi, have a shout out there to Caroline. Thank you for passing that on, Bo. That's really nice.
Did you meet Caroline before or after the first interview?
Afterwards. She's been a fan of y'all show, and
that's cool.
Yeah, she later found my number on either this platform or another platform, and you know, I was like 2,000 messages behind. Literally, it's a lot of people been calling.
That's a lot of people. Oh, goodness me, that's worse than me.
Yeah. So when I finally got to her text, it was like weeks old, and then I noticed by her email that it was from a law firm. So I'm like, I got lawyer fans now, and then you know, since then we've been communicating. She a very good person. She been looking into my pending revocation case. And just peeping out the injustices of it, and giving me a little insight on how I could research things and make suggestions. So
she's got a good energy as well. I think she matches your energy extremely well, and she's one of those individuals that really likes to fight for, you know, get the honesty out there, get the truth out there, have the justification, the to and fro. And actually, she's a bit of a warrior. You know, she'll be able to fight in your corner. So I hope the two of you manage to come to an agreement and decide to fight together going forward.
Yeah, and that's crazy because we actually, I'm actually about to dump my girlfriend for her because we're starting to like each other a whole lot.
Wow, there we go. That's a good way. I like that. She's a nice lady. She really is a lovely lady. I wish you lots of luck.
Did your current girlfriend just find out that she's no longer in a relationship with you right here on the show? By any chance, Ronnie, was that?
That's why, Brian. That's why I'm actually doing this interview from a hotel now, because we actually got into it about Caroline Carollo.
Oh yeah, of course.
The lawyer, because look, a lot of people, like literally thousands of people a day, and no exaggeration, like thousands of people per day text and call the phone, and you know, it's like overwhelming for me to try to keep up with everybody and send them the free ebook I promise. So she'll try to like take it off my hands sometimes, and a lot of times it'll be females flirting and she'll overlook it. But when she saw that there was a attorney who was actually very, very attractive on there flirting, she kind of I guess got intimidated a little bit. So I mean, I don't understand why, because I haven't been anything but loyal to her. And
I think you guys will figure it out. I think sometimes when it comes to it can be unsettling, especially when you go from having a small amount of notoriety and attention to having this blow up. And you're a very attentive guy as well. I mean, to go through text messages the way you do, every time I speak to you, Ronnie, you're like, oh man, I just spoke to this person on my phone number. I've just had this text. I've just made this connection. I just had this prayer. I just had this. I just had this. And it's awesome. You know, I mean, it's a complete positive attraction that you're getting. And I'll tell you something. I expected you to message me 3 days after putting your phone number out there and be like, okay, I'm traumatized now. This is why you don't post your phone number on the internet. But there's not even been one negative tale, not one negative vibe. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of horrible stuff, but that's just the internet, mate. Do you know what I mean? If there might not be, I'm not going to paint you in a bad light. It's just the way the internet is. I mean, some people are just going to say horrible things for being horrible. And you never ever mention it, bro. You never talk about it. You just talk about the positivity. And that's one of the awesome things about you, Ronnie, is that vibe. I'm telling you, 100%.
What's ironic though is I can't say that there hasn't been no negative calls, but out of the thousands of calls, there's only been 2 that stood out, and one was from somebody portraying to be an associate of Jayz, and they was basically sending threats. They FaceTime me, showed me the background, and said, "Yeah, I'm here in Brooklyn. I'm in Marcy Projects. Just keep Jayz name out your mouth, or this and that." And then another call with somebody portraying to be a retired CIA agent. And at first they came off as if they was trying to warn me in a positive way, like, bro, be careful what you're saying on these platforms because the government is watching and this is what could happen. And then when I basically showed it and explained it, well, look, I'm gonna continue to do this because I feel like it's my calling and I want to get the truth out to the people. And if I die for putting the truth out, at least I feel like I died for something. You know what I mean? I have my only blood brother got killed, and I feel like he died for nothing. So if I die for delivering the truth to the masses, at least I already have several books out, you know, that people can go back and say, wow, this is what he was about. This is what he stood for. And you know what I mean? I feel like I feel like I live my life. And the crazy thing, Ron, is that when I cried on this platform, the last interview, it was so much going on. And one of those things was like the threats, you know what I'm saying? And the thought that wow, it's crazy how dangerous it could be to try to like inspire and enlighten people and get the truth out. You know what I mean? Like good people really get killed for just simply trying to enlighten the world and let the masters know that, you know, we being controlled by puppet masters who want us all to be practically like robots, you know what I mean? And they don't know. I mean, they don't care if you're not making an impact, but once they start to see you becoming so influential and people actually listening to you and reading your books and watching your interviews, then it's like, okay, now we got to do something about him because he influenced way too many people.
Yeah, I mean, look at John Lennon, a prime example.
Yeah.
You know, you start changing the world with music, and people start coming together and questioning things and loving each other and respecting each other. Can't be having that, Ronnie. Government, the new world, that's bad business for the puppet masters. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, free thinking is bad business for them. And yeah, I mean, the last interview, it was such a moment, Ronnie, I'll be honest with you, because I think a lot of people, you know, connected with you then. And I think the positivity is just going to continue. The threats, the fears, the people will always try and put that into, but when you take your power back and you stand there like you're doing, and it's just an influx of positivity, I think that's testament to not only the path you're on, the people you're connecting with, but you and you yourself as an individual. Because the internet can sniff it out, man. You know what the internet's like? They can sniff it out, and everyone speaks super highly of you and is really supportive of you. And yeah, we're no different, man. So again, thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for giving up your time again, Ronnie. I have to say as well, you're I'm digging your the purple sparkles that's going on your hoodie here as well. I'm digging that. I'm a big
I saw that. It's really lovely.
I'm a big fan of sparkly stuff.
I'm
blending in with yourself.
I actually marketing plan for this round. So since you like it, like the marketing plan is to send out a bunch of them, because I'm getting calls literally from all around the world, out there in the UK, out there in London, where y'all at. I mean, Panama, Canada, Austria, Australia, Africa, like
Wow.
and people been taking notice of the shirt. So what I'm gonna do, as I've been giving out the ebooks free, I'm gonna send out a bunch of these for free. And all I to do is take a picture of it or a video and post it so I can show, look, this, you know what I mean? We got,
too right.
Yeah, we got to
got this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But that's
100%.
spreading the light. There's too many light workers now. Too many light workers and so many people that are warriors like yourself. And if all that light comes together in one, can you imagine what we can do out there? We can definitely. The light can change the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
tell you what, as well, Ronnie, speak to Bev and get a big bunch of them and just get her to just cast some powerful positive stuff on and send it out as armor, bro. Send it out as powered armor to people. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there is dark forces that lurk. It's one of them. So yeah, man, stay tuned. And of course, you know, we're here to talk about everything that's popping up in the news, Ronnie. But again, just take it in your own time. I know you wanted Beverly to be here, and you know, speak about those reasons too in your own time. Just remember as well, in the Sean Atwood channel, especially with the people that are here this evening, it's an incredibly, everyone is on side with what Beverly does, the things that we speak about, and all of that. Oh, there's Azria. Big shout out to Azria. How are you doing? Good to see you in the site.
Hi, Azria.
Another incredibly gifted lady, Ronnie. Incredibly gifted lady. So you're surrounded.
For her posted it and said, I love you, Ronnie. So I just want to acknowledge them and say, I love you too. I love all y'all out there, and thanks for supporting me.
Yeah. So it's really up to you where you'd like to start tonight, Ronnie. I am Sam. I'm letting him speak. I'm just making sure we're going in the direction Ronnie wants to go too far. I don't want to ask him a question about the Jay-Z stuff if he's wanting to start with the Beverly stuff and vice versa. So I'm just getting a little bit of guidance from Ronnie here.
Well, you know what? With regards to the situation with Beverly, again, I have a deceased brother, and that's my only blood brother, and I loved him dearly. We grew up sleeping in the same bed together, so we was actually closer than I am to even my parents to this day. You know what I mean? So he was the closest person in my life, and he got killed. So rest in peace to Woods. And I want to mention that because I want the public to know that whether people think I ever lie about anything, on my dead brother, I had a situation, a spiritual situation, and I only told one person about it, and that's my mama. And when I talked to Beverly that night behind the scenes, and I said, look, I want to ask you about something that happened to me. You know, I want some clarification on something, experience that happened the other day. And she cut me off and she said, you talking about the spirit, the demon that tried to possess you the other night? And it shocked me. And on my dead brother, I'm not lying because this really happened. But again, I never talked to nobody about it other than my mama, because I felt like everybody else would look at me like I'm crazy or not believe me. And, you know, I got enough people thinking I'm crazy, and that's cool. I want certain people to acknowledge that I got a little sense. So it's like when you open up about experiences like that, people who never had those experiences or don't believe that it's possible definitely gonna look at you like you crazy. But for Beverly to cut me off in the middle of saying that I want to open up to her about something and knew exactly what I was talking about, and then said that it came from Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce, I was just shocked that whole night. And it was hard to sleep even thinking about it that night. And I was kind of afraid that it might happen again, because when it's demon or whatever type of spiritual it was, like, took over me, I really couldn't move. And then it's like I really couldn't see nothing, but I heard something growling. So I could the only thought that could come to mind was, wow, this is a demon. And I'm not a Christian, but I do believe in Jesus and his teachings and what he stood for. So I was trying to call out Jesus' name because I heard that calling out his name cast off demons, and I couldn't. I'm like, wow. But after just like I prayed and thought, and like, Jesus, you gonna let this happen to me? Like, what's going on? And then after that, it just went away. But this is not to give credibility to Beverly or anything that she practiced spiritually, but I just want to confirm for myself with from my own experiences that this lady is a very powerful lady, and whatever she practiced, she is an expert in it, and she has made me a believer. Just for the audience to know, if they ever doubted it.
Thank you, Bo. Yes, it was quite a difficult situation because I think that thing, which we will not name, was definitely, as we know, as I said to you at the time, this thing was holding you down and explained to you what to do next time. And the good thing was that at least you now know what you're dealing with, and you know how to deal with it, and you know what you can say, what are powerful words that you can say, which are all very, very strong words of light to be able to protect you. But I think now, from what I see with you, you look a lot better than you did on that particular night.
Well, thank you. I'm glad.
Yeah.
And you did the salt water as well, which I know I saw you do because you went outside to go and get the salt outside, and you've done a lot of cleansing, you've done a lot of work. So you're certainly in a better state and frame of mind now than you were before.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I don't look how I feel. And to be honest, I even feel a lot better. It was just so happening all at once at that moment, and it just built up. And trust me, I do not like to cry. I don't cry in front of my mama, my friends, my girlfriend. So I was actually embarrassed that I cried on a public platform. But after seeing the love and the compassion that came from the audience, I didn't even regret it no more because I needed to let that out, and I needed all the love that I received from your audience after that. And I appreciate that. And I think that has encouraged me, to continue on with my path. And it definitely embraced me and made me feel a whole lot better than I was feeling at that moment.
Good. And it was necessary. I think you had to show your level of humanity and also the level of light that's coming with you, because it takes a lot to allow a being to enable that emotion to come flowing out of you. And I think all of the viewers here, that is what triggered me to say to Ron, if you need me, I'll come on and I'll help as much as I can. And then I'll speak after the show too to help you. And that's what triggered all of us, as well as a number of other people, to get hold of you to try and help. So, and that's, I think, put you in a really good place and keep your faith, which is the way forward for you.
For sure. It was just really difficult because the environment I come from, I grew up a gangster. I still consider myself a gangster, to be honest, not in the sense that I gang bang or do anything corrupt or whatever I think being a gangster is, but the principles that I grew up under, it taught me to be a man. And in the environment I come from, people look at another man who cry, for certain things as weak. You know what I mean? So, for those of you who think that way out there and y'all think that I'm weak because I cried on a public platform, like, I would advise you strongly, look, I'm very nice, kind, and but if you try me, then I may react in a way that could cause you some type of trouble and harm. However, you know what I mean? Like, as a man, like, I don't look at things the way I looked at when I was a child. And I feel like it's okay to cry. Like, even having a son, I have a 15-year-old son. Shout out to Bo Jr., by the way. And it's crazy because when he was staying with me and I was raising him, I made the mistake of training him and raising him to believe that crying is weak. And that was based on my upbringing and how the gangsters who helped raise me brought me up. But now it's like, I think beyond the level of thinking of those who taught me the whole street lifestyle and all that. I think beyond that, and I regret raising my son that way, because I don't know if that would make him feel like he can't express himself, but I think it's more manly to have the courage and audacity to express your emotions, you know, in certain situations, than it is to try to hold back and play tough and just act like nothing bothering you.
Well, it is courage, Ronnie. Let's face it, it's absolute courage, and to allow yourself to show that level of courage, but more importantly, to be actually safe and secure and happy in your own skin as the man that you are and the man that you're growing and becoming now. That is even better still.
Thank you, Beverly.
I will say, though, as far as Beverly meeting people live on the internet, 100% success rate with making my guests and panel members cry the first time she was right. Last Friday, I did a first night of a podcast, and I was there with my friend Samson, and he was in a car crash a couple of years ago, and we were talking before the show. Now, I had no knowledge of the car crash. He'd said to me, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if Beverly were to come on and she pulled things out of my head, and we kind of made a comedy skit out of like her pulling some secrets out, or, you know, things like that." And of course, she came on and picked up on his guilt and his pain, and she went into
wasn't
healing.
Comedy though. Wasn't comedy, was it? No,
no, because it was, I should probably say, Ronnie, it was a comedy-based podcast. It's a light-hearted podcast that I do each week. And she came on. She identified his pain, and she went into fixing him. Went into full professional what she does mode, and he spent the whole week trying to regurgitate his experience to his friends. And, you know, exactly as you've said, Ronnie, you become a believer when you see what convinces you, and it makes you a believer. And he had the same sort of moment like you had, and he's struggling. He's struggling as well. He's got a lot of friends who are like, "Mate, are you joining a cult? This sounds a bit mad." Do you know what I mean? So don't think that having that moment is you're alone there for a start. But everyone in the side chat has nailed it. People, especially men, there is still a stigma put into a lot of the time that we've got to be men. Boys will be boys. The whole whatever culture you're from, there's going to be a stigma. And listen, I'm the guy that cries at everything. Like there's I'll just be sitting for no reason, Ronnie, no reason at all. I'll be sitting and an advert will come on, and in this country there's an advert for toilet roll that's got a little fluffy dog, right? Little dog, right? Chasing the toilet roll. Right? Is that you call it toilet roll in America, right? Yeah, you will. Right?
Sure,
and there's me, and I'm like, I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? And it'll just come and it'll just overwhelm me for some reason. And I can't explain it. It's not like I break down. It's just like an overwhelming rush of emotion, a few tears, and then it's gone, and it's unexplainable. And you just got to embrace it, man. And I think everyone just sees you as a better man for having that moment live. A lot of people would have turned off the camera or done whatever, and you embraced it. And in response to that, we've embraced you. And we've even spoken behind the scenes. And I'll tell you something else. When you spoke about when you popped on the live stream last week, the first thing I said, this is a different Ronnie Bo, right? This is because when your energy the first time. But to anyone that wants to criticize Ronnie for having that moment, it took a dark presence entering a hotel room alone and standing before him to rattle this man from the streets. So I'm just saying to you now, you can be in some terrifying situations in real life against things you understand. If Ronnie is in the back of a van and somebody's pointing a pew-pew at him, his brain understands everything that's going on, right? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's never happened before, you've seen it in a movie, right? So, but when things like this happen, the deep effect it had on you resonated from you. And I just think it's a different man now. And I think a lot of people, when they hear people like yourselves acknowledging Beverly and acknowledging these experiences, it helps them too. It really, really does, Ronnie. And I just want to thank you again for speaking about it and allowing us to sort of go into that.
Yeah, for sure. Beverly, I mean, that experience it, and for her to just be meeting me and could see that that happened and like addressed it to the T, like I was shocked. And to be honest, at first, Beverly, it made me scared of you because I'm like, is she extraterrestrial or something? Like, how would she know that? But after I got over that fear or whatever you want,
the shock. Yeah, you had a shocked face on.
But after I got over that, I actually wanted to reach out and ask you, like how. I don't know if that's just a gift that God, God gave everybody a gift and different gifts. So maybe it's something that you are just gifted to do. I know how to rap. I know how to write books. And you probably don't know how to rap, but
I definitely don't know how to rap. I wouldn't have a clue. You're the professional at that. But I know how to use the light, and that's all that is the light, the gift that was given to me, and the light to be able to change your energy so that you're calmer and that they can't touch you, you're protected, and allow you just to live in peace now and be calm and have happiness, because you deserve happiness and love. And that's what I was able to do, is to turn that dark thing around so that energy was going and flowing straight through to you, so that you can make a difference, which I think part of your energy really is to make a difference and to expose whatever you see, whatever you know about the people that you've worked with, the people that you've shared the cells with, which is very difficult, as well as the Jayz individual that we have here on Earth at the moment. Just share all of that and just allow that peace and calm to go out, and let everybody else make up their own minds.
For sure. Well, hold on. Let me, Ronnie.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good one for you, Ronnie.
And those are the ones Jesus has chosen to help do his work on earth. Thank you, Ruby too. But I don't know if y'all want to get off into the topics of discussion now, but in closing of that experience, Beverly, I just wanted to say, like, whatever spiritualism you practice, that to see that you was able to see what's going on in my life and not know me, it made me interested in learning. And I just want to say one thing about that to the audience, because I get a lot of calls and texts from people telling me Jaguar Wright is a witch and she practiced this and that, people who don't even know her. And it's like, look, whatever y'all believe spiritually or whatever religion y'all practice, that's okay. That's what y'all understand, and that's probably how I was brought up and raised to think. But you can't expect everybody to think exactly how you think. And like, if Jesus was around right now, a lot of people are Christians and a lot of people adhere to the teachings of Jesus. But if he was around right now, doing the things that he was doing back then, the things that people recognize him about in the Bible, people would say that that's voodoo or witchcraft or something like that, just because they don't understand it. So I just want to like inspire people to have open minds, because like when I was in prison, I was raised in a household that was like Catholic and Christian. So when I got to prison and got around Muslims and Buddhists and even people who practice witchcraft and voodoo and all these other forms of spirituality, at first I was defensive, like, wow, that sounds stupid. But then I eventually started opening my mind, because I noticed that, okay, these people over here claim to be Christians, and I love Christians, but these people over here claim to be Muslims or practice these other forms of spirituality or religion or whatever they want to call it. But it's like they conduct themselves more godly than the people who was considering themselves Christians. And no offense to Christians, I love Jesus, and that's my favorite spiritual master or prophet, and I even see him as the Messiah or whatever y'all want to call it. But no offense to Jesus or Christianity, but I think Christians are sometimes the most, like, a lot of them are hypocrites, you know what I mean? And it's crazy that they teach all this love and stuff like that, but you know, they so quick to judge people who don't think the way that they think. And I just want to inspire the audience again to, like, open your mind. If you can't find no other way to open your mind, I have books that I'm giving out free, and y'all could get those books by simply texting that number on the screen. Please text instead of calling, because I can't possibly answer and conversate with everybody. But everybody who texts the number and asks for the book, I promise you, I'm gonna make it. Might take a long time, and some of y'all cuss me out because it's like, I've been sent you my email, why you ain't sent the book, and then by the time I get to it, it's been a week, and they cuss me out and say you lied. But it's thousands of people who I actually reached out to already who got the book and happy. So just give me time and be patient. But I think that my book will definitely open a lot of minds. And if not, then find another way. But it's time to, like, really open your mind. And if my books don't work, or whatever other book you read, like, start listening to Beverly. Like, I'm not gonna lie on my dead brother for nothing. If y'all think I ever lied about anything, ask me to put it on my dead brother. And if I don't, I'm lying. But if I do, trust me, I would never lie on that brother. I love him more than anything. I would never lie on him about nothing. And my experience with Beverly showed me that this lady is real, and whatever she practices and believes is something that I want to look into. And I feel like everybody should want to learn that.
Oh, thanks, Ronnie. That's absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure the good work you're doing by sending out all your literature and trying to explain, you know, that all religions really are pretty much one light under one source, and the light of the source is all the same. And I think that what you're trying to do is shed light in many different corners of the world in your own particular way. And the way that you're able to get your message across, I think, is really wonderful.
Thank you, man. Thanks. I need that type of encouragement, acknowledgement sometimes, Beverly. So I appreciate it.
It's hard. And it is hard. And, you know, you've been given this special work to do. And it's not an easy path for you, Ronnie. Really, it's not. And you've got a lot of people that are working against you, the darker forces. And that is just the way that it is. But we now know, since that incident, we know that you're protected. We know you've got a job to do. Source has given you that message in your soul, and you'll go forward and you'll do your job, which you always do. You're a finisher, not just a starter, but you're a finisher, and you'll finish it, and you'll do what is right. And I really believe that will cleanse your soul of everything that's been happening. It'll be cleansed. And you'll have a happy and full life later.
Thank you. And on another note, before I forget, just to basically rebound on what you just said, Beverly, as far as this path, you know, I'm not saying this because I think my PO watching or the feds watching or none of that, but I grew up a drug dealer. I started selling drugs when I was 11, and I was a drug dealer most of my life. And I'm just so thankful to the Most High that I have not sold drugs, and I haven't felt like I had to sell drugs in a long time. So I do feel like the right path now. And I also want to mention something else that almost made me cry again. But trust me, I'm not gonna cry again on no live. But Ron, I didn't want to mention this publicly, bro, but between you and I, we had a little conflict behind the scenes. But from my experience, I realized that like I had a situation with this dude, bro. We actually shot at each other before, and we knew somebody. We had a mutual associate who brought us together and was like, look, both of y'all are young and wild and capable of killing each other, and I don't want to see that for neither one of y'all. So, like, if anything, like, just fight it out. And me and dude, we fought it out, and he actually won the fight, and I'm man enough to admit that. But after the fight, for some reason, when I had conflict with somebody else who he didn't even know, it wasn't even his business. This dude stepped into that conflict and supported me. And that just, it really touched me. Like, wow, well, I shot at him before and we fought before and we haven't even talked since then, but he extended his helping hand to me and wanted to have my back. And I explained to Ron when we had our conflict that most of my closest associates, somewhere along the line, we had conflict that somehow brought us closer together as friends. Let me hold on because I almost cried again, but no.
You got it, bro. You got this. You got this.
But no, Ron, bro, and I want the audience to know this. After my conflict with Ron, this man offered me an opportunity for him to do a documentary about my life and my experiences with the corrupt leader. And I've been wanting to get my experiences out with the DEA, how they frame me in cases, and how police officers and other law enforcement agencies have harassed me all my life. And for Ron to offer me that opportunity after me and him had such conflict, it was very, very inspirational. So, I mean, I know we talked after that, and you even apologized during the live with Jayz a few days ago, but I didn't get a chance to apologize yet, I don't think. And, you know, before we get off into these other topics about Jay-Z and them, I'm actually tired of talking about them dudes, but I definitely want to enlighten the audience about what's going on from my perspective, those dudes. Before we get off into that, Ron, I just want to, as from man to man, like, I apologize, bro, for offending you if I offended you in any way, and I just hope you can understand it. The type of environment that I come from is filled with snakes, and sometimes you gotta that environment. So you suspicious of everything and skeptical of everything. But for you to extend your hand to me after that, bro, that was very heartfelt. It really touched me and it really inspired me. And you know, no Diddy. You know, everybody who know me know I don't and against homosexual people, no homo, but man, bro, I love you as a person, bro. And that's from man to man. And don't take that no other way than that, bro. Much love.
Yeah, listen, bro, I feel it, and it's over with. It's done. Like as they say, you know, I can't even remember what it was about. So it's done. It's dusted.
Good.
I'm excited. And when two people are on a mission, right, and we're on separate paths, but the end goal is kind of the same thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Pettiness, holding a grudge, and all of this stuff is a weaponized tool by forces. Some people wonder why they have a bad day or something happens that's out of the norm, and it's because dark forces at play can pull on strings that no one sees existing. If your guard's down, something happens, whatever.
Yeah.
And the plan is to, through this, the wonderful snowball effect of free will, allowing this conflict to exist. And I wasn't going to let that stand in the way of what can come from you and I being united, bro. And I'm excited. I'm excited for all the things to come. And yeah, and I fully respect the not trusting. I mean, I admitted to you as well when you came on, I was so unsure of you until you had that moment of emotion. I was like, okay, like, there's a lot of things that Ronnie Bo could come on and do for like an internet clickbait moment, but breaking down ain't one of them. And I just I want to say thank you so much for what you just said there. And again, I'm sorry for everything that happened too, and I'm glad that we're boys now. It's good vibes. I appreciate it, Roddy. Thank you so much.
Love it. Just love it. I love it when the energy works, and I love it when the energy wins because it's great.
Yeah,
I honor you being the bigger man in that situation.
Well, listen, I appreciate you accepting and all of that. So I appreciate you, and I thank you, Ronnie, as well. So hey, listen, man, it's nothing but the realness here. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Make sure you're sharing this out. And again, when individuals like Ronnie come on and they speak their truth when it comes to Beverly, I'm here for that all day. Like the validation from individuals like Ronnie, like people like Big Homie. These are people that have way more to lose than gain for making up a story and putting it out there. Okay,
exactly.
Like, and if this was all a plan, behind the scenes, there'd be other people that you would choose for a stealth. Apparently, everyone's been wrong, and Beverly's made it up for 4 decades. Do you know what I mean? It's a madness. So I love it when people that are new, the people that are just coming in. I mean, it's everyone. It's Ronnie, it's Big Homie, it's Samson, it's Kaza, it's me, it's everyone. Where you go beyond that initial conversation with has their freaking mind blown wide open, and it's it's just the way it goes. And I can't preach your skill set enough, Beverly, and we all love you here. So again, thank you to you. Thank you to you.
I'm here to help. That's my job. I'm here to help, and I'm here to spread light, because we're in a war here. We're in a major war between dark and light, and we have just so got to win. And at least we know now there's a lot of people that are working with the light. And I think, Ronnie, you're one of the light warriors too, and you're going to go and do a whole bunch of really good things and drive it home. I will say, though, they might get a bit annoyed with you, because you've actually flipped to the side of the light and you're working with the light. So I think the dark ones, watch out a bit, because I think they are going to try a few tricks. I mean, I'm not too worried about you, because you've got this. You know what it's like. You can do all these things. You've been on the streets. You went and sold things in order to be able to get a school uniform for yourself when you were young. You did that to have some food at lunchtime when you were at school. And I see all of that with you. And you've brought yourself up pretty much throughout your life to help your mum, and all those amazing things that you've done. All of that is in your soul. And these other people, you know what? They can do one. They can just go and get knotted, really, because actually you're on the path now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to respond to a point that Ron just made with regards to if you want to find a way to draw views or get clickbait. First, I just want to state that we have a guy named Ronnie Bo, and he actually has a very, very successful podcast. And I did a few interviews with the dude, and they were pretty successful, I guess you could say. And I'm a positive person, so I don't want to be negative in any of these situations. But Ronnie Bo recently caused itself a lot of backlash by doing a clip to where he was trying to discredit me, Jaguar Wright, and Tanya Rubin. And I guess you can understand the love and support that I had. But right after that, I jumped on Jaguar Wright Live, and I gave out the same phone number that's on the thing. And I told the audience, look, if y'all got love and support for me, I need y'all to go to that clip and comment under it and let him know that in the most disrespectful way. And hundreds of people started doing that. So under that clip, he got way more comments in support of me than in support of the negative things that he said. So I want the audience to understand that when you really, standing on good vibes and principles and morals and virtue, and you really love God and you really for good, people are going to always say bad things about you or try to discredit you. That's just the way society is for some reason. But you will find people that will defend you through all that, as I have done. So don't let that bother you. And with regards to views, because Ronnie Bo said that I was lying about being locked up with R. Kelly and lying about other things for views. But again, on my dead brother, and it's documented. While I was locked up with R. Kelly, there was a lawsuit filed, and both of our names are in the lawsuit because of what the BOP at MCC Chicago was doing to the COVID pandemic. And it's also documented that we were in the same prison for 21 months and on the same unit for 30 days. So Lionel, being people like you who actually do things for views and stuff like that, I just want y'all to know that lies are entertaining and they can get you views, but it doesn't have the life that truth has. Like, truth gonna live. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. And another thing with regards to that is, like, when I first came out and went viral in these type of interviews, like, it appeared that I was advocating R. Kelly, speaking highly on him, and I can understand why people would think that. And to be honest, I still don't look down on R. Kelly or see him as bad. The surviving R. Kelly documentaries taught the world to look at him, and I have my own personal reasons for that. But when you trace back to those interviews and see that I was actually saying R. Kelly is not as worse, as bad as y'all think, and I was also saying that for those people that think he's such a monster and so terrible, all of y'all was practically like worshiping Jay-Z and looking up to him as this huge role model. And I was telling you then, this is almost 2 years ago. And I think Jack White saying it longer than me. But while y'all was admiring Jay-Z as this hero, this he called himself a god, and it seemed like to me some of y'all was looking at him as he was a god. And I'm telling y'all, okay, if y'all look at R. Kelly like the most terrible person in America, then y'all should look at Jay-Z the exact same way, because he is doing and has done the same thing that y'all hold R. Kelly accountable for, but y'all are admiring him and in a sense like worshiping this dude as the god of our culture when he just as bad. And if it was about views for me, I could have got out saying I smacked R. Kelly in jail and there's other bad things that I could have said if it was about views, because at the time it was, and it's still not, it's not fashionable or popular or none of that. It actually make you look bad to say, man, R. Kelly ain't that bad of a person. So if it was views or whatever, then that it wouldn't have made sense. But the whole time, while public and the masses was still admiring Jay-Z, and I'm saying R. Kelly not as bad as a person as y'all think, especially compared to Jay-Z, you know, that wasn't especially then, it wasn't something that I felt like would get me no positive energy and attention, especially these documentaries persuaded the world to perceive R. Kelly. So it's never about views. And even when it wasn't fashionable to talk about Jay-Z and say that Jay-Z is a pedo, I forgot how you told me to word that, but
PDF.
PDF. All together now, Ron.
Yeah, exactly.
PDF.
At the time, 2 years ago or whatever, it was against popular belief, and it made you look like a hater or a jealous person to say such things about Jay-Z. But now, I don't even think it's been a week yet. Now, within the last few days, this stuff started coming out. Now it's like, wow, you know, Jaguar Wright been saying this. I've been saying this, you know what I mean? But now the media is picking it up. And let's keep in mind, these same people that said R. Kelly was a monster, okay, maybe he is. When I met him, we got cool. I didn't believe a lot of things that the public was saying about him for certain reasons. However, the things that are coming to the light about Jay-Z now are like 10 times worse than the things that were said about R. Kelly. So do we stay on that bandwagon and say, man, I love Jay-Z, I admire his music? Because I listen to R. Kelly music, and I still even listen to Jay-Z music because I know how to separate the music from the person and their character, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, it's never been about views. Otherwise, I could have, like, to be honest, while I was locked up with R. Kelly, it was people telling me, bro, if he don't want to, because R. Kelly never wanted to sign the book agreement with me that I was asking him to do. So it was people in my circle saying, bro, we could just beat him up in here. You know what I'm saying? Beat him up and smack him up, and they gonna put it on the news, and then you can get publicity for that. But it's like, no, bro, that's not what I'm on. I want this man. I want this man to willingly tell me his story, feel comfortable about telling me certain things, and I want to put it out to where he can benefit in the same type of deal that Ron offered me. Ron offered me to do my documentary free of charge. He just wanted people to know that he did the documentary so people could see his potential and what he's capable of. Same thing with me. I told R. Kelly I didn't want no royalties. You ain't got to pay me nothing at all up front. I don't want nothing, no financial gain from this. I just want the credit to say by Ronnie Bo so people could see my work, the world could see my work. And I felt like that would open the doors for all of my other projects and all my previous projects. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
It was about no view, obviously, because I could have did other things for view. It was about just getting the truth. I wanted to hear his real true story about the allegations that was made in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary.
Exactly.
And it's just like people say that two sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? I simply wanted the world to see his side of the story, and that was it.
Yeah, because also, you know, he told you a lot about his childhood, and when I looked at R. Kelly's energy, there is a lot of trauma in his childhood, and there's a lot of areas where there's a lot of scars on his soul, and I think that he is trying to make that better, and he is trying to seek his own level of forgiveness, because there's a lot of things that he's done and he actually hasn't forgiven himself, and his energies tell me that he will seek forgiveness. So I think at some point he probably will reach out to you to say, I'll talk to you. You shared a lot with me. I've already shared a lot with you. So come and talk to me again and let's write this up. I think that is still going to come. And the good thing is Diddy has now abandoned his fourth request for bail.
Yes.
So the energies are all happening in the right way.
Yeah, I think as well, you've got a very unique perspective when it comes to R. Kelly as well, Ronnie. I mean, you could be trapped in a room with any kind of individual, okay? And you're going to make the best of the situation, you know? It'd be different if you sat next to R. Kelly at work and there was rumors. You might be like, okay, I'm going to stay away from R. Kelly. I've got choice here. I'm in an office. I've got free will. But when you're in that sort of scenario, it's a very unique insight into someone, because traditional sort of walls come down and all this kind of stuff. And I just wanted to make that clear to everybody, because when we talk about individuals who have been dragged for what they've done and all this kind of thing, it's good to sort of put some context to those who maybe just be joining us or who are new to your story. So yeah, it's I just wanted to say that. Now, with respects to what Ronnie was saying about views, if Ronnie was doing this for views and money, surely he would have his own YouTube channel that was monetized and he'd be putting it out on his own platform. Like that would make more sense as well, if we're being clear. I mean, it's clear what your intentions are, Ronnie. I mean, not anyone just whaps their phone number out on the internet in the way that you do and interacts with people you do. So I'm excited as well to be part of the documentary, the whole project, getting your next chapter off the ground. Really is what it's about, and I'm ecstatic. I really, really am. So excited to be part of it, and really, really, I can't thank you enough for taking the offer. I really can't, mate.
Oh, of course. I don't see a thought that come to mind that would convince me not to. It's an opportunity, and it's something that I wanted to do most of my life. So trust me, Ron, I'm very, very grateful for that. And if there's anything that I could possibly do to assist any of your goals and plans, that trust me, I'm gonna do it as willingly and as freely as
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate it. I'll definitely put me down for a hoodie. Right, that's the first thing. Especially if it's glittery, man. I'm down with that whole.
Oh, you like the glitter? Oh, that's so lovely. I was interested in understanding what with the karmic path, because you know, we were looking at the karmic path of, you know, the Jay-Z and Beyonce and Diddy. And I realized that there is a level of a triangle between the three of them, you know, where you have the two men at the bottom, and then you've got the Beyonce energy at the top. And that karmic triangle as such is actually causing a lot of issues. And I think that the Beyonce person with these two men is going to distance herself completely from all of them. You remember when there was all that Rihanna, you know, issues where she wasn't sure whether Jay-Z was having an affair with her or whether that was going ahead, and she moved out and she stayed away from him for about a year. And I think that she's going to find that with the two men, she's going to have to decide whether she's going to continue with this karmically, whether she can allow herself to continue to be embroiled around this whole mess that's happening with the two chaps, or whether she needs to now, you know, push away because she's got Blue and she's got all her other things happening around her, and she needs to move forward. And that's one thing that she does really well. So karmically, on that level, she needs to move forward. She needs to move away from it. And I think in time, the more of the receipts that come out, the more she's going to make that decision. And really, the person for the decisions in these three people's relationships and path and karmic path is going to be Beyonce. It won't be Jay-Z, and it definitely won't be Diddy. I don't know. How do you see that they're going, Bo?
Well, with regards to karma, what I understand about the industry is something that I actually been understood from my own experiences, but after meeting people like Natanya Rubin, who Diddy shot, you know what I'm saying? Crazy because Natanya is like a sister to me now, and this is somebody that Diddy actually shot in the face, and she been saying she's not somebody who jumping on no bandwagon and just start saying this because now the powers that be all of a sudden made it open doors for people to speak out about Diddy and be compensated for the things that he done to them. Like this, like been said from day one since 1999, and then Jaguar Wright, I've been knowing her a little longer. She is also somebody who, you know, I see as a sister, and she even referred to me on this platform as her little brother. So her and respect her for that. And I know it's a lot of people like that say that Jaguar Wright is a liar. She exaggerates, she make up stuff, but the things that go on behind the scenes in that industry would seem like exaggeration until a time like now where stuff is finally light, you know what I mean? Like, and she been saying this for years, but now things are coming out and being publicized. It's like, wow, now I believe her. And I don't, no matter how outrageous anything she say may seem, I know Jaguar Wright. She's a good person with a good heart. She's an honest person, and I'm gonna give her the benefit of a doubt and believe damn near anything that she say now, because I mean, she kind of prophetic. Like she been even me and her was debating about would Jay-Z ever be next, and I'm telling her, Jag, they not finna allow him to go to jail or be bashed in the media, because these people got a lot of money invested in Jay-Z, and they him like the NFL behind him. The NFL gave him the power to control the entertainment for the halftime show and stuff like that. And these people like Jay-Z projected to be a billionaire, but these people are actually worth billions and been worth billions and been type of power and money. So I couldn't see first, but Jag been telling me, watch this. He going down, and I'm gonna make sure he going down for what he did to me and what he did to my associates. And with regards to the karma, like the public need to understand that these people who we call gatekeepers, and some people don't understand these analogies or metaphors. So a gatekeeper is this: if you want to get into this industry, I'm the one right here at this gate. So when you come to this gate and you want to get in, I decide if you can get in the industry. And people like Diddy and Jayz were definitely gatekeepers.
True,
What's happening now is definitely karma, because you have people with a lot of talent. Like Jayz was mentioned in the Forbes as the best rapper ever and stuff like that. Trust me, I know hundreds of rappers who are way more talented than Jayz, but they never get a chance to show their talent to the world or display how great they is, because you have gatekeepers like Jayz and Diddy that say, well, look, if you want to get to the top, you want to be on the Grammys, then you have to perform oral sex on me or this person, or you have to let this person put this meat log in your rear end, and you know, that type of stuff. And this happens with man, you know, when it comes down to them telling you you got to sell your soul, you got to do just that. You got to compromise who you are as a person, what you believe, to allow these people to undermine your manhood and everything you stand for, because it's like the industry is really, really demonic. And even a story in the Bible, it said that the devil, or whatever y'all want to call him, came to Jesus and took him to this hilltop and showed him the world and said, look, you can have all this if you just sell your soul to me. I mean, that sounds like an analogy, and may be, but these things really go on. And it happened to people like Jaguar Wright. Like Jaguar Wright is, trust me, very, very talented. I think she got a better voice than Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, and other people who actually compromise who they are as a person and sold they sold to the industry to get in the positions that they in. But because she wasn't willing to do certain things, she's been held.
Yeah.
The world don't acknowledge. It's crazy. Like the world knows Jaguar Wright for expressing what she been through and exposing these people, but she should actually be acknowledged for how great she is as a singer. Like, that girl had one of the most beautiful voices that I ever heard. And there's a lot of other people like that. And this goes on the small levels to the big levels. Like, even here in Milwaukee, we have club owners and stuff, right? And Milwaukee is one of the poorest cities in America, right? So we have a lot of young, beautiful women with talent and some of the most amazing shapes and prettiest faces who are in poverty and just want to have fun. So even for them, they want to go to certain events to get in these clubs and stuff like this. You have people who own these clubs, or people who even security or DJs, to say, well, look, I can get you in, but you got to lay in this bed with me. And they might not want to do that, but then they compromise because they want to go to this event so bad. They want to be on this stage. They want to be seen around these people so bad that they will give up their precious little jewels to be able to do this. And people who like coerce or force women to do that are the most terrible people in the world. And then on the highest levels, like with Jayz and Diddy, they ruined so many people's careers who had a lot of talent, like crazy talent, and should be stars. But because they wasn't willing to sell their soul or perform oral sex on somebody or something like that, then they wasn't able to be seen and get the recognition that they deserve for their talent.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And that's, I think, the 13-year-old that allegedly had these issues. When I remote viewed that section with that young person, that person got into the limousine. And then when I was looking at it, the driver turned around and spoke to the young person and said, you can't get into the event, but you can get into the after party. And she actually said, okay, that's fine. We'll go to the after party. They then went to the after party, and then he ushered her into as far as he could go and said, there you go, you're in. But unfortunately, I think once the receipts are produced, part of the issue is going to be others are going to claim that that youngster was prepared to do anything and everything in order to be able to get into that area and into furthering her career. And I think that it's going to be up to individuals to say, no, actually, she was forced into this, or this was allegedly she was forced into certain things that they're claiming happened on the day. And I think that's going to be the issue. And it's really all going to come down to what is the level of receipts and what can be shown as categorically this is what happened. And that's really what it's going to come down to on the day. But karma, I think, at the end of it, the karma will be the thing that comes around, because karma's like that. It's a bit of a bee with an itch. It can turn around, it bites you on the bottom when you least expect it. And I'm kind of thinking that that's where this energy is going.
Well, there's two things I want to touch on here, right? First of all, when we're talking about what we put out into the universe, karma as a whole, one person in particular, Beyonce, in this triangle. And Ronnie, we had Big Homie on last week, and he spoke of seeing this woman with Beyonce who would do rituals and burn sages before recordings, before hang on a second. Big shout out, Mike. Mike, I'm going to DM you on WhatsApp after this. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I want to get you involved in a couple of things, and there's some people I want you to meet. So just stay tuned, mate. It's not been a while, but great to see you. Sean is saying, big shout out from Sean Atwood saying he's watching the show, loving it. Big shout out to Ronnie, big shout out to Beverly. But here's the thing. Now, I feel comfortable asking Beverly this because she's already put it on the internet, right? So, oh no, I'll tell you about Big Homie, right? So this woman that follows Beyonce around, does these rituals. He spoke of a blackness being put over Beyonce to block people like Beverly, right? And I just want you to talk about, because obviously, Ronnie, you're now on your journey, and the amazing thing is when people start on their journey after a Beverly moment, they think that's it, right? They think that the Beverly moment they've had is peaked, and no. It's like a really spiritual awakening version of a landmine. Right, and a minefield, I should say. Right, you're taking a couple of steps forward, bam, and it's but in a good way. It's a good way, and it's mind blowing. So, can you just tell Ronnie what happened when you tried to delve into Oprah, into Beyonce, and just talk about that, because this was something that's already out there, and I know I hate putting Beverly on the spot. That's why I'm saying this.
Oh, that's all right. You're right, Ron. We had said about it before, but I will repeat it. One of the first shows that I did, I was asked to go and look at Bay, and I was asked to look at a couple of people. And the funny thing was, I went out, had a look, did the co-location. So that means for me to go out, have a look, come down and have a look and see what she's doing. And what was very interesting is that all the windows were covered with this funny, like, I don't know, like lacy material. And it was very unusual light, but I couldn't actually see her. But what I could see was this gray brown blob, which I had assumed was her. So I pulled back out, and I was all right, let me go back in again and let me go and see if I can see it again. And I went back in again and I had another look. And then the curtains are there, the situation is there, everything's the same. Now the black blob has changed and she's moved. So that was her, but she would not enable me to get close enough to be able to read the energies. You know, like I did with you, Ron. I was able to get in and have a look. And then Ronnie, I was with you. I went in. You gave me the permission. I went in and I saw what happened to you that night lying on the bed with that thing jumping on top of you and trying to hold you down. So, and I thought, well, this is not coming from her. This is coming from somewhere else. So she has her own protectors. She has her own individuals that create that energy around her. But at least I was able to see pieces of it, but not all of it. And then something turned around and looked directly at me. And I thought, okay, I think this is my signal now to move back out and leave her alone. But then look on the outskirts of her energies, which is all that was left, because that's all I could read was the outskirts of the energies, because there's layers of energies. And that's what I reported back on. But that was actually happened. That happened when I did the full remote viewing on her.
Now, the next thing I want to add on to that, Ronnie, is Big Homie. I showed him a photo of a woman called Marina Abramovich, and she is, I mean, we won't go into it just now. With the certain, if you know who she is and you know the cases she's tied to, we can't actually say certain cases that she's tied to on this channel because of YouTube being a great place. Definitely not restricted in any way. YouTube algorithm, brilliant, awesome. And when we talk about this woman is pretty high up in the dark realm. The buck almost stops with her with a lot of the pure evil that goes on. I mean, allegedly, all right, just in case. And I say allegedly because we know people are paying attention and watching. And here's some legal documents that just sort of back up that theory right there. Just throw that up on the screen.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I remember that.
So they are watching, and if Beverly gets shooed off by somebody looking at her and things like this, and we're hearing from Big Homie that if she's in a room and this woman is casting some sort of protection spell, it would make sense that it would appear if you were standing outside the window as if a curtain's being closed, or if you were looking at the person as if a big smudge has been put over them. And this is again, this is just to give you more like validation for what happened to you, because the people who are at the top of this, especially in Hollywood, there's a few of them, and the ones who are the wannabes look like wannabes, but the ones who are at the top, you would walk past them. There's something called existing in the grayness, not in the magical sense, but in a not standing out. You know, you could walk past them, you would never, nothing stands out about them, and that's important. You know, it's the ones that you are forgetful, the ones that you could forget. They're the ones that tend to be the ones to watch, if that makes sense.
She's running interference. You know, that particular individual is running interference. And, you know, Ronnie, when we were looking at what was happening, you and I both knew exactly where that came from. And that we both knew at the same time that that's where that energy was coming from. And it's the same person that's running interference. And I'm sure that with your heightened level now of energy and your heightened level of intuition, you'll be able to start feeling things a lot more, and you'll be able to protect yourself a lot more.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know if that affected the broadcast. I do have the phone on D&D, but somebody tried to call in. I don't know if that showed on your end, but
no, you're good. You're good.
No, it's fine.
I just want to quickly say, I've not done this throughout this show, but I just want to quickly say thank you to everyone who has been sending super chats and any kind of support that's been coming through. Keep in mind, if you would like to directly support Ronnie as well, he has got his Cash App and his links are in the description. You'll be able to find out ways to support him. Obviously, get a hold of his book. And hey, listen, if you forget where I've told you to look, you can just call him direct or text him direct, and I'm sure he can remind you. One thing is, though, it was really when we started talking about the documentary, there's a lot more we're going to be centralizing for Ronnie to streamline the questions he answers 5,000 times a day. We're going to get your book. We're going to get where is it? So we're going to get him a web presence so that it's a little easier for everyone to sort of manage, so that his time can be put into conversing and positive vibes and all the rest. Because I imagine, Ronnie, you spend a lot of time copying and pasting links and forwarding stuff and copy and pasting links and all this. Yeah, careful with people's numbers on showing numbers, Ronnie.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about that. So. It's going to happen. It's going to be happening for Ronnie very, very soon. I'm excited to be part of it. But I really wanted Bev to take you through that, Ronnie, because it's a realness, and it's quite easy to have an experience and then a week later kind of not brush it off or anything like that, but sort of put it to the back of your mind. And it's when we put things to the back of our mind, we can let our guard down a little bit. And you know, you're on a great path. Now, with regards to what that means, right? If you've got somebody who allegedly is as dark as this lady is, casting spells around Beyonce, your missus, whatever, there's a reason behind this. You know, when you look at Beyonce's concerts, she had one where she had this big gold headpiece round of her. It's all very ritualistic, ceremonial looking. What's your take on all of the stuff that's happened in the music industry, Ronnie, with concerts, right? Especially right after lockdown, it almost seemed like the little bit of ritualistic whispering that happened before lockdown, they needed a massive intake. It was like the energy banks were low. Everyone's inside. You know, they're just getting forward projection through screens. They need this collective in the same room, ritualistic gathering, and they couldn't have it. And it seemed like right after lockdown, it went into overdrive, bro. Like people get knocked over with waves of energy in concerts, demonic stuff on screens. It was wild. What is your take on the resemblance to the dark side that some people can see on stage in the music industry? Do you have a take on that?
Well, a lot of these concerts or ceremonial events, whatever people refer to them as, I mean, it traces back to history, like in the African nations, like before war, you know, I mean, they would all gather and play certain drums and chant certain you know, quotes in music, and this would raise their energy to a point where it made them all feel courageous enough to go into battle and put their life on the line. And that's what music does. And it also goes into the power of the people, because when you get on stage in front of these many people and people singing along with you and chanting to your music, it gives you a certain boost of adrenaline and energy that's like, it's like unimaginable. And it makes these people who think they guys like Jayz or whatever, it make them feel just like that. Like, look at all people, it make them feel praised and worshiped as if they was like doing a church ceremony and all these people was you know, praying to them or whatever.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
So that's what it's really all about. And speaking of that, like I've been saying in these interviews, I want to display the power of God, and it ties into everything we talking about as far as the gatekeepers and karma, because like these gatekeepers like Jayz and Diddy, like they ruin a lot of lives and a lot of careers, and a lot of these people with talent who tried to come through them to get where they wanted to be eventually had to question, like, wow, is God real? Because this person telling me God is not real and he God, and if I don't do this, then I'm never gonna be where I want to be. And from their experience, they realize, wow, I'm really not where I could have been because I didn't do what Jayz or Diddy wanted me to do. And God don't like that. And you know, karma is coming back right now, very, very hard on them. You know what I mean? Because the people who was behind them, they don't have no morals or integrity. So it's like they not gonna stand with you through everything. So once they can't use you no more and they take their hands off of you, now, okay, now you got to face God, and that's what they finna have to do. And with regards to displaying the power of God, like I had a chance to sell my soul a while back. Like I was on the top 40 charts and everything for Drake and Lil Wayne, them stealing one of my songs. And this is documented. I just don't like to talk about it because, for one, it made me feel upset. It made me feel like a failure. And then I know a lot of people won't believe it. However, fortunately, it's documented. So whether people believe me or not, they could you could Google 2012 David and Goliath. You know what I mean? David and Goliath hip hop, to be exact. And the article would come up from the top 40 charts, established music industry website, and you would see that they have an article on there talking about when Lil Wayne and Drake and them stole my song. So I don't want to get off into that because that's not the point. But the point is that I had a chance to be successful in this industry, and I wasn't able to display my talent because I wasn't willing to go through with certain things. So now in this time of the light, as Beverly would call it, and all this stuff is the karma, these people getting their karma back. This is how I want to display the karma of God right now. My number is on the screen. It's 414-810-9090. That's my real number. Ron told me don't show the screen, but I want to show the number that y'all been calling since I've been on.
Yeah.
And this is the phone I'm holding in my hand, so y'all ain't got a question, is this a robot or this really him? This is really me. And to display the power of God. Now, I'm never going to sign to none of these major record labels who make you compromise your integrity, because I'm for y'all. I'm for the people. But we have to show the power of God by supporting each other. You know what I mean? That's why I'm giving out my ebooks for free, and I'm willing to give my shirts out and stuff for free. But I also need y'all support because I can't have these major labels invest millions into my music because I won't put out what they want me to put out. I could still turn to y'all. Y'all the people, and collectively, y'all may think y'all at a disadvantage or y'all not as big as Rock Nation or the NFL or all these other industries. But I want y'all to understand that y'all truly are bigger than that. Collectively, if we come together, we bigger than all that, and they can't defeat us. So for those of y'all who believe what I'm doing and like what I'm doing and love like the lawyer lady, again, Caroline, what's her name? Carroro. You know, me and her was discussing later about how we gonna somehow put paralegal services out to the youth and environments where I come from, because I've been taken advantage of by law enforcement and the government and harassed, and they feel like they can get away with it because they knew that people like me don't know the law or don't know how to fight against it. So we wanted to put out legal information and services somehow. It's a certain way that it has to be done, because with me not being a lawyer, I can't practice law, and with her not having license here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and other places, is we got to figure out a way to go about this. But we definitely gonna get it done. And another thing we gonna get done is that I'm about to it's the perfect time for me to put the nail in Jay-Z coffin. You know what I mean? And I'm not the type of person that like to brag. I'm very humble. However, I believe that I am far more talented than Jay-Z as a rapper, even though I'm not known as a rapper by many people. But with y'all support, I mean, if y'all want to see me successfully defeat Jay-Z and get this victory so that we can show that this little David could beat that Goliath, then I need y'all support. Like, I'm willing to do and give out whatever I'm able to give out. And a lot of y'all think I'm as big as Jay-Z or whatever, because y'all probably don't know that this dude is worth 2.5 billion, and that I'm just getting out the streets years ago and trying to figure out a way to make money legitimately. So for the record, I'm not no celebrity. I'm not big as Jay-Z. I'm known, but I'm giving out my personal number because I want to connect with y'all on a whole nother level. I want y'all to show that I'm not no bigger than y'all or none of that. I'm here with y'all. We in this together. And if y'all get behind me and support me in any way y'all can, y'all don't have to donate. Y'all don't have to send money. Y'all can simply share. I'm gonna put out a song about Jay-Z and everything I'm going through with this government. If y'all can simply share it, it could show the power of the people. And if y'all want to support, like, with the marketing aspects of it, this grime mode company that I represent, I'm willing, and I will, not just willing, I will give all y'all shares of stock into this company to where we own this together. You know what I mean? So it's not about just taking from people. You know what I mean? It's the Bible says in Luke 6:38, you give and you shall receive. We got to understand You know, you can't be so unselfish and stingy. You got to understand that when you give, God appreciates that, and He will put people in your life to make sure that you get that back. So I appreciate all of y'all support to where everybody who been supporting me. If you do and able to contribute financially, I'm gonna compensate y'all with free of my free merchandise, free books, whatever I got. I'm gonna find a way to give back to y'all for free. I guarantee you, everybody who support me, I mean, you will not regret it, because on my dead brother, I love God. I'm a man of God, and I will never compromise who I am as a man, or sell my soul, or sacrifice nobody I love or nothing to be in a position of fame or none of that. I'm happy with who I am right now. And then you got people like Jayz, for example. Let me give y'all a very clear example of how people like him think. Now, I know I said something about my girlfriend Jasmine, but Jasmine, you know I love you. Sometimes I joke. I do really. The lawyer lady Caroline is really a good person. We've been talking, but you know, that's just that. But you have women who have integrity too, and most women, like, it's sad, but most women would betray a man who really loved them for a man who just got fame or money. And then you have people like Jay-Z, right? He feel like he can have his way with any woman. He can do whatever he want, right? So he the type of person, if he see a woman who he feel like could be bought and she turn him down, he will be willing to do something to make sure that that lady lose her life, just because it shattered his pride that much. He really want to be able to feel like he a God and above people. You know what I mean? So it's like that on again, small levels and high levels. Like these gatekeepers, they feel like, okay, you're a very beautiful, attractive lady. You have the look, the shape, the talent, the voice, and I could make you a star. But they want to be able to feel like and make that lady feel like, but you're not gonna be a star unless I make you a star. So they want them to feel like that they really greater than God. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to come through this gate to get here. So we got to change that, because it's destroying people. It's causing people to even question God. You know what I mean? So we really got to show that there is a God and good will triumph over evil. And it's been hard to show that lately. So I feel like God put me in this position and on these platforms to display that. And I have plans laid out that I've been working on forever. You know, it's crazy that this serendipitous moment right now has put me on Sean Atwood channel in the face of great women like Beverly and great, very intelligent, courageous man like Ron. Like, I truly appreciate this opportunity. And Ron, trust me, we gonna make history with the documentary, bro. Like, it's a lot of things I haven't told you, or it's a lot of things that I haven't addressed on these platforms that is gonna make you be like, wow, this dude got an amazing story. I can't believe this happened to him. How did he overcome? Put that out to the world, bro. I guarantee you it's gonna be a success. And I'm gonna put all my time and energy into making sure it be a success. And a lot of people may not realize, because like you said, I don't have my own channel. I don't even have an Instagram. If you look me up on Instagram, it's a fake page somebody made in my name to try to make sure that I have access to Instagram. But the Instagram I did, for some reason, when I went viral about this situation with R. Kelly, and I started exposing my lawsuits against the government online, like, my social media channels and platforms was really taken. Made me feel like, wow, I had these platforms for years, and now y'all could just take it that easy because I'm spreading the truth to all these people, and y'all going through these men to silence me and shut me down. It made me like not want to do it. That's why I'm giving my number out. You know what I mean? So people can reach me directly, call me. Like, if I'm not doing nothing, I'm gonna answer it. But most of the time, there's so many people calling at once, the calls don't go through. That's why I'm saying, just text me and I will send you the free ebook. and I will find a way to get these shirts to everybody who want to support me, and I will give it all out for free. You know what I mean? And I want y'all to also have that type of, you know, mindset of reciprocity, because, you know, I understand there's a lot of people in the dark who really just can't afford the light. So I'm trying to provide the light to them all for free. You know what I mean? If y'all appreciate that and want to see me succeed and triumph in this situation over my situation with the government and people like Jayz, then I'm humble enough to admit that I need y'all support, because I'm not gonna take money from these other organizations and compromise what I stand for or who I am.
I'm with you. I'm with you. So here's the beautiful thing, Ronnie, right? There is a guy called Tom McDonald. He's like the biggest independent artist in the world. Every time he uploads a YouTube video, he gets on the Billboard charts in America. He outperforms a lot of the mainstream individuals. He's done that all through his YouTube channel. The documentary, the 2 versions of it, the launch in your YouTube, that's where you're going to blow up your music, bro. Like, that's where it's going to explode. Like, people, it's going to just be a snowball effect for you. And I can't wait. And I just can't wait. And it's people who are rejecting mainstream industry and they come to social media. If they have talent, Ronnie, right? You know yourself, like good product sells itself. You know what I'm saying? People standing on the corners aren't having to put out marketing plans. You know what I'm saying? If the stuff's good, people are coming to buy it. And absolutely. In this case, they don't even have to buy it, Ronnie. They're just click and play. And yeah, I just see that sort of snowball effect for you. And I'm excited. Now, Ronnie, I have got a big show that I'm planning for Christmas where I'm going to have to eat some really spicy peanuts, and I'm getting everyone involved. I'm hopefully getting people. I've never done karaoke before in my life, and I've asked Jaguar Wright to come and do a Christmas karaoke song with me. I've got everyone that's been involved with the shows; they're all coming on. It's just going to be like a big Christmas feel good thing. If you've got any like music you've got ready or recorded or anything that you've got, I'd love you to come on and be part of it. But it's all about Ronnie Bo and the music when on that night. It's not about any of the. Do you know? It's the darkness that's brought us all together, and it's good to sit in the light and have a laugh and watch Ron try and raise some money for a Lisa's charity dog home. This is Lisa right here, one of her little doggos. This lady has got, I think, 50 dogs in her care. They're all small breed dogs as well. It's the Tiny Dog Army. And she's one of our community members. And Ronnie, I think you'll probably understand this. For me, if we were to raise a few $1,000s and then give it all to a massive charity, it's a little drop in a pond. But if we have people that we can directly help in our community, we've got our community member Shane as well. And we'll be helping both these individuals. And I mean, it's literally going to be torture. I mean, these things are really, really spicy. But we're bringing everybody in because I'm going to be sitting dying as you're all doing your stuff. These peanuts donations and sort of trying to create something good for Christmas. And have a think about it. I'd love for you to be part of that as well. Anybody is going to be getting dragged in, because this is the one time where Ron needs the collective force of everyone's social medias to make the torture I'm going to endure in the name of tiny dogs and a good friend of mine worthwhile. It's got
maybe the next one could be Jag and Ronnie could do something to raise funds collectively for looking for these children that are missing, these 350,000 children that have been.
I'm with you. We will definitely do that 100%. Here's the thing. I'd rather fund your mission, right? Here's the thing. Like there's so many charities that turn out to just be so, I don't trust a lot of them, right? I'll be honest with you. I don't trust a lot of them. So certainly funding operations and funding. So for example, I know a lady who remote view and finds people, and I would much rather see that individual benefit from money because I've seen the direct action and things like this. So for me, that would be more of an incentive. Like saving kids is always the way. 100 million billion %. But I didn't have somebody in my life when I made this decision like
But the doggies are lovely too. The doggies are lovely too. But and the thing
100%.
is, we've got the extraction crew now. That's the big thing. We can get that particular extraction crew and go. So we've got the muscle, we've got all the other bits. The only thing we don't have is we don't have any funding to do anything, which is why we all work for free at the moment.
Well, here's an interesting one, right? After our live stream with oh God, I've been saying her name all day. Marilyn, was it Marilyn? Melissa? Marilyn.
Yeah.
Marilyn, yes. Right. I had a weird evening, shall we say. I had a weird 36 hours. I went on a voyage. I love it. I'm very much into taking my brain and taking it to places and getting answers. And I got symbols, I got sigil messages, I got a whole collective unification through symbology for what we're all doing. And I'm excited to share that with you when the time is right, Beverly, because it ties in exactly what you're saying. People need representation in a way, and people need something to point to, and that's what I'm going to give them. And exactly what you just said there about lack of funding, it's about creating that place, right? Creating that place with the faces that people trust and know to put that in, and that's what's coming. So just stay tuned. So I'm glad that you touched on that. But Ronnie, I want to dive back in with you and just to throw anything else that you want to touch on Jay-Z, on Beyonce, the karma, what is coming, this wave of what seems like justice, universal justice seems to be coming down. We've got about an hour 10 15 minutes. I've got a poor heavily pregnant fiance in the next room who I need to factor in as it's coming close to 1 a.m. But I just wanted to give you a chance to speak. Obviously, the platform's in anytime you want it, Ronnie. This is an hour thing. So if anything you've not said tonight, and again, it's the Beverly Rose effect. It's the Beverly Rhodes effect. You know what I mean? You get sucked into that world, and when it all starts making sense and lining up the things that we've all known and sort of speculated at, it becomes more fascinating. But I just want to make sure you've had the opportunity to say any key points that you wanted to do. But as always, the platform is at any time at all.
Well, I just want the audience to stand on your neck about putting a documentary out. Every time y'all see Ron out here say, man, what's up with the Ronnie Bo documentary? But
man, you don't have to worry about me. I'm all set. I've got on Sunday night, you'll be getting the announcement for the documentary I've been working on with Beverly and Big Homie. That'll be out next week. And then on that weekend, we've got do you know what, Ronnie? Sunday night, you need to watch Big Homie's off-world DNA analysis. That'll help. That'll give you another understanding of where gifts come from. And one thought process, I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm just giving you my year one at the University of Beverly Hogwarts style education that I'm going through here, right? It feels like people who unlock certain parts of their DNA that we see as off-world DNA get given these gifts through activating parts of themselves, so to say, right? And in one theory. And Azria breaks down with her gifts what makes you from what is referred to as junk DNA in our DNA strand. And this junk DNA comes from somewhere, Ronnie. And I personally believe that we are a seed bank. Our DNA is a seed bank with all of these off-world DNAs tied in, so that if they ever needed to extract their DNA to repopulate, they're here. And when you think about our planet, Ronnie, it's so beautifully distracting. Animals, rivers, trees, all these things. Look at Mars. Look at the massive balls of gas. How can a planet be a massive ball of gas? Did you see what I'm saying? So our planet is so beautifully distracting. It's almost like they want us to look at the planet as opposed to looking up for some reason. And it's being beautifully crafted. And when you start hearing things about yourself, and Azria had never met me, and she pulled stuff out about crows, about the Nords, talked about all of my off-world DNA. And it's like hearing all of your personality traits, right, that make you defined in a way you've never heard before. And it's like being slapped in the face with a reality check of, how has this woman never met me before? But with my name and things like this, she can dive into this world. And we've seen it done twice. Is it twice we've seen it done now? It's twice we've seen it, right? Or three? It's twice with people we know, right? Me and Casabear. And then on Sunday, we've got Big Homie. Next Saturday, I think it is, we have got Jaguar Wright. And I know for a fact your mind's going to be blown by this. So you want to come and watch that, because that's a really good next step in the understanding all of this. Okay. And you don't have to worry about religion or anything like that being a factor to why you shouldn't do something like this, because it is very much a fascinating learning curve that I think we're all on. So if you want to tune into that, and like I say, Ronnie, if there's nothing else you'd like to touch on, I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here, and yourself, Ronnie. Please make sure you give Ronnie a text. Make sure you get his book. Make sure you support him with his links. And you'll be seeing Ronnie Bo again very, very soon, I would imagine, Ronnie, because like I say, there's so much coming out, and your takes on the subject are always really, really good. I know we sort of we like I say, we just get sucked into the world of Beverly Road. Sorry, it's just we can't help ourselves. And I want to thank you for coming on here and requesting Beverly to be here to talk about what happened. And I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you very much to the side chat as well for all your support towards Ronnie, towards Beverly, towards the show, towards myself. And Ronnie, if there's anything else you want to throw at the side chat before we finish up, let's let the people hear it.
Well, in closing, thank you for this opportunity to be back on the platform, Ron. And Beverly, thank you for accepting my invitation to come on with us. And I have a new book coming out called Why Jayz Wanted Me Dead. And on New Year's Eve, just to get everybody in a holiday spirit, for everybody who texts me to request, a sample of that book or whatever, or the release date, takes the number on the screen, 414-810-9090. And on Christmas Eve, I'm going to send out a text blast and an email blast to send everybody a chapter or two of that book for free. And everybody who takes me will get the ebook, the whole ebook, for free when it's released. I just want y'all to have the sample at first. And if y'all want to support anything I'm doing, I'm still giving out the challenging the Illuminati book for free. So text me and request that. I'm gonna send you the ebook as soon as possible for that. And if y'all want to support me in any way, I believe that Ron put my Cash App and PayPal links in the description. And even for the donation, like what I'm doing, even the shirts, I'm gonna find a way to get everybody the shirts for free as well, as long as y'all take a video, a picture, and let people know that y'all support Ronnie Bo by showing yourself wearing the shirt. Look, that will be enough to support everything I'm doing. So again, in closing, I want to shout out to everybody who already reached out and texted me. Like, I didn't want to continue to get his number out because, trust me, it get overwhelming sometimes, but I found a way to manage, and I'm gonna make sure everybody get these ebooks for free. Thank y'all for listening to what I have to say, and look forward to that documentary that Ron will be putting out.
Hey, listen, man, I'm ready. We'll get planning that after this weekend. And I just want to say as well, to the side chat, to the mods, to everyone, thank you for being so awesome. To Ronnie. Oh, actually, Ronnie, what we could do, why don't we make the next live story about your first book? Like, I think a lot of people would like to sort of hear your sort of breaking down your first book as well. And it'd be a great way for more people to be encouraged to and have that. So have little things you want to do.
And why he wanted you dead. I think, when this offer comes from a Chicago marketing company to help you with doing all these things, I think you should go for it because it's on its way.
Wow. And I'm not going to say anything or doubt anything that you say at this point, Beverly. and again,
well, you got me on speed dial anyway, so you can just tell me when it happens because it's going to.
Thanks a lot.
And then we'll make sure that you go forward. Thank you also again for asking me on today. I really appreciate it. And I'm so pleased that you're feeling better. And Ron, thank you very much as well. Good night to both of you.
Oh, I just sneaky mind blow right at the end there. This is really I'm with you, man. Right, Ronnie, thank you so much for being here. Beverly, as always, an absolute pleasure. Side chat, you are the ones that make this possible. Without you, we are literally crazy people on the internet talking to screens with no one listening. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being the people that you are. I do believe that we have tomorrow, this is just being confirmed, we have DeWitt Gilmore, the survivor that's been going around talking about the assault that took place with him and Diddy. So stay tuned for that. Lots of stuff coming over the weekend, as we've spoken about. From me, Ron Swanson, on the Sean Atwood channel. Be safe out there, guys.